Good morning, guys. We're now on day 2 of week 13 of the Guildford City Fitness live stream. Clean up your warm-up area and grab a drink, and then we're going to go with 2 minutes of backstroke skipping to start the warm-up in 2, 1, go.
Millie, Charlie, Matt T, Caroline, Pearl, Ruben, Elizabeth, Paige, Julian, Michelle. I'll say morning.
Happy Tuesday, people.
David, Ewan.
Stop. 1 minute up, 10 seconds rest. 2, 1, go.
Ben Tritton says good morning.
How's it going, Ben? Got 15 seconds left. And stop. And squat to hip lift, followed by windmill. So make sure your back stays straight. I was round my back first and then tell everyone not to. Just lift your hips higher. After the last one, go into windmill. Three facing each side. Just as much a hamstring stretch as it is upper back rotation. Guess what, the hip lift then into streamline lunge. Then wall slides. So 6 reps, but 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. And push your elbows into the ground as hard as you can. And squeeze your hands, make a fist. As you go through, you get more activation in your shoulders and your rotator cuff. We'll finish up with alternating shoulder roll and split jump. That's going to get right in the way. And turn your hands at the top and bottom. Switch directions. 3 split jumps on each leg. Try and build them up, make them more elastic each time. And then I'll talk through today's session. So to make sure that everyone's got a little bit more time to finish the push-ups on the aerobic part, part 1 today is 35 on, 10 off. Then we can go 40 seconds on. So everyone should still finish at the same time so they can get off to college and do whatever they have to. Part 1 is still going to focus on whole body strength. So Spider-Man push-up, hollow hold, reverse plank, streamline squat and pull over. So just make sure you've got a bag to do the pullovers. And with that we're going to get going on Spider-Man press up in 3, 2, 1, go. So just alternate after every couple of reps. Make sure your hips stay in line with or below your shoulders. And then mess around with the split distance of your hands. Relax. And 10 seconds off into hollow hold. Two, one, go. Ease into it, break up the 35. Do 3 10-second rounds of the hardest, highest position you can get. Okay, and stop. Into reverse plank. In 2, 1, go. So because it's 35, to make it a bit more challenging, you could always go with marches. So just pulling your knees towards your head. Making sure your hips don't drop. You keep pushing your hands into the ground. Just make sure all the work is in your hips and relax. Then into streamline squat. Two, one, go. So we're more interested in range and posture than number of reps. So make sure your lower back doesn't round at all. So even if you get all the way to the floor by rounding this, you don't want it. Just cut that range off. Go as low as you possibly can. Relax. Essentially, you're trying to make sure that your wrists stay in line with the middle of your feet. And finish the round with pullovers in 2, 1, go. Just keep pulling back with your elbows and relax. 20 seconds rest. So all that effort, you want to concentrate it into getting your fingers as far from your body as you can, and then bring it back using your lat muscles only. So back into Spider-Man press up. In 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm still working off 3 on each side. Just find a position that lets you get lower with your knee out, so you get a bit of stretch in your hips, but not so much that it's uncomfortable. Okay, and stop. Spiral press up then to hollow hold again. In 2, 1, go. So you're trying to crunch your ribs down as hard as you can, get your shoulders high off the ground and make sure your lower back just stays pressed into the floor the whole time. 2, 1, relax. So try and build up each round as long as you possibly can into reverse plank. 2, 1, go. And as well as alternating with a march, you can go with an overhead reach as well. That's then going to challenge your scapular stability and your upper back mobility. So people that are trying to work on lat mobility, it's quite a good one. Stop. Then go into stringline squats. 2, 1, go. So I always use the door because you make sure if your hands end up in front of your toes, you line forward too much. It's more of a hinge instead of a squat. Just gonna make sure I'm not breaking my own rules. Yeah, a little bit. Doesn't feel like it, but. And stop. And then finish off, pull over. And then 2, 1, go. So if you want to double up, you could always make these electnas to foam roller across your feet or another weight. And stop. Just depends how much it distracts you from the pulling. It's much better to go with a more challenging weight, concentrate on the pull, upper body control. So back into Spider-Man push-ups for round 3 of the first part. 2, 1, go. So I'm trying to change the split slightly and get a little bit wider as well as forwards and backwards. So this is just going to start building up strength around your rotator cuff in ways that you don't normally develop. And relax into hollow hold. 2, 1, go. As soon as your shoulders start to drop down, take a little break. So you can start off here. Make sure you hold that. It's going to do you no good if you start to fall backwards into this position because you're not doing the same thing. Good, and stop. Into reverse plank. Two, one, go. Let's bring your feet a little bit closer together. If you're struggling with the marching, but if your hips drop even the slightest, just stick with normal plank or move your feet slightly further away. Start to increase the demand on your hips to hold that position. Is it weirdly warm this morning? It's not just me. Okay, stop.
And there's 2 windows open.
Streamline, split squat. Must be warm. Okay, 2, 1, go. Ugh. Then can you just tell me if my hands are in front of my toes? Or tell me one. So like,
Yeah.
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 No.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the range I'm going to stick with. You can always go feet a bit wider.
No.
No? Oh, awful. Okay, and stop. So it will start to get worse as you get tired, but just be mindful of it. So you're still developing the things you want to. Then pull overs to finish part 1. 2, 1, go. Keep your palms rotated towards the ceiling as well. So bring your hands closer together. You have to create more stability in your shoulders to control the load. And stop. 1 minute break. So aerobic conditioning, the same as last week. We're just giving ourselves a little bit more time by shortening this bit up slightly. So you're going to go 10 push-ups to stand. We'll go 35 seconds of star jumps, 8 push-ups, 30 bear crawls, and then 6 push-ups again. If people are struggling, I'm timing it off 40 seconds on, 10 off, basically. So you can concentrate on quality instead of hammering them out. If people are struggling, so if I say move on, and you didn't finish them, just let me know so I can get an idea of how we're doing. So I can always change the reps so I can change the circuit. But otherwise I'm just going to assume that everyone's making it on time. So 3, 2, 1, go. 10 push-up to stand. Nine, 10. Okay, so we'll go into star jumps in 2, 1, go. and stop. So then you've got 8 push up the stand. In 2, 1, go. Halfway through. Six. Eight. Little rest. Then bear crawls. In 2, 1, go. So opposite hand to foot, keep your back flat the whole time. Should be about 30 contacts or 35 seconds worth of work. Down, relax. And 6 push up the stand. In 2, 1, go. And that's 6. So the quicker you get it done, the more rest you get on that last one. But it's better to control your tempo, go a bit slower, try standing up without taking a knee, and alternate between. So, ready to go again, back into 10 push-ups. In 3, 2, 1, go. Nine, 10. Just in time. So push up the stand. No, star jumps in 2, 1, go. Okay, stop. So if you were struggling before, maybe do 6 then 4 push-ups, or drop a push-up, just do the sit to stand. 2, 1, go. into bear crawls, a little bit of rest. Two, one, go. So make sure your wrists stay under your shoulders the whole time as well. Concentrate on your posture as much as anything else, so your lower back stays flush to the ground. Relax. Don't push up to stand. If you struggle to make the time, just do sit to stand. 2, 1, go. Keep your elbows pointed down to the floor as well. "20 seconds off, back to the start." One more round. So again, if you're struggling, maybe go 8, 6, 4, take 2 off each round. 3, 2, 1, go. That'll buy you more time, you can control each rep. Have the quality there. Five seconds. Little rest into star jumps. 2, 1, go. Okay, stop. Back into push-ups. In 2, 1, go. Even when you struggle, don't just fall to the ground and bounce like that rep. Try and control the fall. And stop. A little rest into bear crawl. Two, one, go. Take more time in between steps if you have to. Makes it easier, takes the emphasis off core control. And relax. So one more round, finish strong, push up the stand. Six reps, 2, 1, go. And done. So a very upper body aerobic focus session. It's going to be quite challenging for most of you. The idea is as the running continues to get harder, it gives your legs a bit more of a chance to excel during that work. So we're into stretching. We're going to go right quad, left ham, right hip. In 2, 1, go. So make sure there's no pinch on the upper border of your kneecap. If there is, just lean forward a bit more. Okay, and switch. Keep your front foot forward, sit into it with a straight back. Start guiding your knee around to make sure all the work is done behind, between the back of your knee and the bottom of your hip. The more you can drop your elbow, the more you might feel that. Just make sure you don't drop your shoulders, keep them straight. And then switch into dropping your foot down and go right hip stretch. Okay, just angle your shoulders. Try and get as much distance between that front hip and your back knee. Stay tall like this. So you're trying to create an open angle there. And swap over. So left knee on the mat. Stretching left quad. And go. So let me know how you get on if your knee hurts every time you do this. Like for me, I can definitely tell I've got better at it. And hopefully the last couple of months have shown you that improvements aren't always immediate. But if you stick to it, everyone struggled with running a month ago. The amount of PBs that have come in is ridiculous. So there, right foot forward to right hamstring stretch. Just make sure that the further you sink, the more you're emphasizing hamstring instead of hip. And then stop, drop your back foot down to the ground. Go into a hip stretch. Try and support yourself as best you can. Hands off your knees. If you put hands on knees, you're reducing the stretch because you've got less body weight to control. And stop. Hips down into lats. Remember, whichever way you aim your hands, whichever side you're trying to stretch, if you move that foot to the opposite side, you might be able to get some hip stretch as well on the outside, but just focus mainly on the lats. So you might find after all those push-ups your lats feel a bit tight. If I remember last Tuesday, finding that position and then moving my elbow around helped quite a lot. And then swap sides. So if you can't move your elbow, bring your hand a little bit closer. Which means that as you rotate it round, you're creating stretch and relaxation. It's more cyclical. And then you might find you can get a bit further after a few seconds. And then leave that there. Into chest stretch. Just gonna kneel over here. So use the table as usual. Just carry the box, go and get it. The door's open anyway. Doesn't look that hot outside.
There's just no wind.
So remember, change position. So start with your hand up high overhead. Bring it down a little bit lower. So turn a little bit more, but keep your hips facing forward. So when you start doing twists, don't drop everything, relax. And then drop your hand down quite a lot. Imagine almost like a dip. So, sorry, like a deficit press up. Just try and get your chest in front of your hand to create a different kind of stretch. And then swap sides. That change in elbow position is what's going to make the difference. The other things to remember, people that had shoulder niggles before the lockdown started, it might be a good idea to start building in some of those shoulder rehab things that we used to do on poolside. So, clutching your kickboard, driving your wrist into a pillar, making a fist. So I actually had to steal that for myself a couple of weeks ago. Left shoulder's been bugging me. So doing this before the warm-ups or during the cool-downs makes you get a big contraction in your rotator cuff and see if that has an impact on your upper body work. Just because if you were doing it before lockdown and then you end up going back into the water, you want to make sure that the same problem doesn't reappear because it's a very specific type of injury. And that'll do. So you've got a gym session tonight. I made a tiny change again. Towel split squat hold is now multiple seconds. So one round, you'll have your towel, instead of it being 5 seconds for the sprint group, where you hold for 5, have a break. You're going to do 3 lots of 3 seconds. So you'll be in position, 1 round. Everything I've changed this week, by the way, is on the notes. So you'll be in this position, like 1, 2, 3, relax, a little break, and then another 3, stop, another 3, then you get a full break. Then you switch legs. So you end up doing 9 seconds per leg per set. That's why we've shortened it. So you get a much bigger dose of max strength through your neuromuscular system. And then middle and distance groups, you've got a bit longer because it might take you a bit longer to get to that max effort. But if you can get there and it's as hard as you can pull, by all means just stick with a shorter time. It just means that you'll be that little bit fresher and you'll start getting more strength into your legs before we go back. Anything else? Seated jumps. I've switched it around a little bit. So those towel work will now set you up for better jumps, and seated jump is second instead of last. Triple hop. So you do triple hop, swap legs, and triple hop again is one set. And then single leg RDL is now just last. So it's 6 reps per leg for sprint group. It's in the notes, but if you see 12, 14, 16, that's in total. So that'll be with your weight. Probably have to go a bit lighter, like that. But technically it should look about the same. You're just going to be on one foot. But again, it's just going to have that bit more transfer. It's going to overload each hamstring individually. So you might find one leg's easier than the other. That's perfect. It's just the perfect time frame to try and address that slight imbalance if you have it. And that'll do. Cooldown's all the same. If you have any questions or need any changes, let us know before you do the session. And challenge, so later on, you've got a plank to do. So as long as you can form plank 4, and let us know. Maybe just do it after the gym session in MPS. I'm going to leave you with that. Enjoy the rest of your day. And then from everyone at Guildford City, we want to thank you for watching live, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.